Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this episode of 5 Room Dungeons. This week we'll be heading to the coast to deal with the twisted antics of a maniacal demon as it lures adventurers into a deadly tropical paradise. Before I get started, I wanted to give credit to John Four, the author of the 5 Room Dungeons article that led me to start this series. This dungeon design method amazed me when I first read about it, and has helped me to create a number of exciting adventures for my players. If you want to read John's articles on the topic, check the link in the description below. And now, on with this week's dungeon. This particular dungeon is located on a tropical coast or island. A nobleman whom the party meets during the adventure is from a small city or town in the region. His disappearance may be the reason the PCs are investigating the area, or they could simply stumble upon the site during their travels. This adventure also includes a new creature called a Prizrak. This is one of the Lumara, a category of incorporeal demons who can possess creatures or items. The dungeon itself is suited to a party of second-level characters. Whether or not the party is searching for the lost nobleman, they spot the demon-possessed man swimming quickly across the shallows of the coast, then leap over a small pool before disappearing into the cave beyond. Following him leads to the entrance of this dungeon. The pool that the demonic nobleman leaped over blocks the entrance to the cave. Although it isn't deep, it does hold a swarm of quippers that could hinder the party should they wade through. Combat with the carnivorous fish isn't necessary if the party can come up with another solution to bypass the swarm. Leaping over the 10-foot diameter pool requires a DC 15 athletics check, rather than a DC 10 due to the low ceiling above the cave. The party could also startle the swarm momentarily, using loud, sound-based magic, such as the booming voice effect of thaumaturgy, combined with a DC 10 intimidation check, and then safely wade through the pool. Beyond the cave entrance is a dim passage followed by yet another pool. This one is much deeper and crystal clear, lit from above by a wide chimney-like formation in the cave that extends up some 60 feet directly over the pool. As the party approaches it, the water geysers upward to form a massive, vaguely humanoid shape that stretches from wall to wall. Circling within its form are a dozen exotic seashells, many of which have an otherworldly appearance. This is Doldrum, a water elemental who has traveled the plains, but finally retired to this coast. Doldrum has gained additional abilities over the ages, yet has a great disdain for combat after its centuries of travel throughout the planes of existence. Doldrum attempts to communicate with the party by extending a watery appendage and showing them its collection of shells, one by one. After displaying the last shell, it keeps its arm out, as if expecting something from the party. If the PCs don't understand Doldrum's meaning, allow a DC 10 insight check. The water elemental wants another shell for its collection, and will not allow passage beyond this pool unless the party can find a suitable one. Once this request has been established, Doldrum draws an outline in the sand resembling a large crab, then points back outside toward the coast. Allow another DC 10 insight check if necessary. The elemental suggests retrieving a shell from a colony of giant crabs on the beach. If the group bypass the quipper pool rather than killing the swarm, they'll have to deal with the tiny monsters again. Should the party prove belligerent and attack Doldrum, he uses his wave ability to shove them back into the quipper pool until they are ready to talk. Back on the beach, the party can follow the common crabs scurrying across the sand to a colony of larger crabs the size of wolves. Engaging these giant crabs will lead to the appearance of a monstrous crustacean from beneath the sands who joins the battle. Defeating the crabs gives the party a chance to search the area, where they find a pristine abalone shell buried in the sand. Returning this shell to Doldrum reveals that it is an enchanted item the water elemental lost to the meddlesome crustaceans. With the shell returned to its collection, Doldrum can now communicate with the party. High above the water elemental's pool is a ledge set into the cave wall where a demon has been hiding. Doldrum will lift the party to the ledge if they wish to confront the fiend. Once Doldrum lifts the party to the ledge above, they find a man dressed in ragged finery. This is Leopold Hakon, the lost nobleman now possessed by a Prizrak, a class of incorporeal demon known as the Lumara. These Lumara originated in the Dreaming Gulf an infinite void that was once the 230th layer of the abyss, but is now the graveyard of a forgotten pantheon of gods. The Prizrak spawned from the crumbling body of a deity of knowledge and community. They seek to possess scholars, royals, and nobility, driving them to acts of barbarism and lawlessness against their neighbors. This Prizrak is no different. With an evil look in his eye, the possessed nobleman addresses the party. "So, did you come here to save this aristocratic gentleman? I'm afraid he belongs to me, and you'll have to impress me considerably before I'll change my mind." This little speech leads to a skill challenge, forcing the PCs to match wits with the Prizrak demon in order to drive it out. If the party is unsuccessful in removing the Prizrak from Leopold, the fiendish creature empowers its host with bestial strength and attacks the party relentlessly. However, near the end of combat, Doldrum returns to the ledge to offer the group a magical item. While the elemental won't involve itself in combat, it extends a liquid arm to the closest party member. The tip of the arm evaporates, leaving behind a pile of purified elemental salt capable of driving out the Prizrak once it has been weakened. The party can use the salt as an improvised thrown weapon with a maximum range of 20 feet. If the demon-possessed nobleman is below half health, the Prizrak loses possession of the body and is banished to the abyss, freeing Leopold from his control. Should the party successfully drive out the Prizrak, they must still battle the creature before it has a chance to possess someone else. The demon begins to harass the party by hurling stones at them. Although weak without a physical body, it is incorporeal and will be difficult to damage through non-magical means. However, Leopold's time possessed by the fiend has taught him that the creature is extremely arrogant and prone to emotional outbursts. Thus, taunting or tricking it into taking physical form is possible. A DC 15 deception or intimidation check will draw out the Prizrak, making it susceptible to physical attacks until the start of its next turn. Bards can use vicious mockery on the demon to force it to take physical form for one turn. The fiend has disadvantage on the spell's wisdom save, and takes double damage on a failed save. If the party is successful in banishing the Prizrak and freeing Leopold, the nobleman graciously thanks the group and offers to reward them once he has been returned home. Several treasures occupy this chamber, and he is unsure of where they came from, as his memories of the possession are nothing more than a horrid nightmare. He leaves them to the party to do with as they please. The party can find the following items on the ledge: a gold chain necklace worth 100 gold pieces, a silver chalice worth 75 gold pieces, a mithril inlaid drinking horn worth 50 gold pieces, a bag containing 5 moonstones worth 50 gold pieces each, and an enchanted +1 longsword. Taking Leopold home will also earn them a 200 gold piece reward and the gratitude of him and his family. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Next week I'll be discussing ways to make your combat encounters more exciting. And in 2 weeks, we'll be checking out an event-based 5-room dungeon in Scandal at Spire Cathedral. I'm David Watches, and thanks for watching.